on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Yeah, welcome back from that break. Apologies for that break in transmission. It was due to technical issues. And if you're just tuning in, this is still Global Morning, and it's the discussion segment where we've been x-raying the topic, which says the economics of kindness, how volunteerism drives community and social development. And I have with me Oyewole, who is the man of the moment, and we've been having an interesting conversation. So going back to the conversation, sir, let's look ahead. We've been talking so much about volunteerism, but let's look at what's to come. How can we build a more structured volunteer system and to give better response and efficiency? And like we said earlier, some of them start, but they do not see to the logical conclusion. How can we forestall that and make it even much better?
Okay, so it starts from advocacy, right? Getting everybody in the room and trying to develop structures and systems, as you rightfully said. And the second thing is education. There isn't anything that we are doing here that is new, right? We just need to learn from the past, learn from what works in our local climate, right? Taking the VUCA nature of Africa, we need to start looking at what really works, right? You know, a lot of times people just want to volunteer because it looks good and they can put it on their LinkedIn or on their certificates, but really, are you really changing a real problem, right? Now, whilst I say, it looks good for their LinkedIn, yes, for those that want it for their LinkedIn, that's still fine, still volunteer for that, right? There are intrinsic and external reasons why people volunteer. So for me, I would say it starts from advocacy, then to education, then the implementation phase is really important. How do we implement these things, these structures and these systems that we have created? Is it through using media as a help, or is it using other organizations that bring other organizations together like the UNV and all that? But we need to figure out that implementation strategy that works for a majority of people that want to play in this field.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, the world has gone global, and someone said it was a global village. Now they're saying it's a global room, and volunteerism is not being left behind. We've seen digital platforms making volunteerism much more dynamic. And how important is digital volunteerism today?
Yes, it's so important. I think one way or the other, Nigeria is big on digital volunteering. You see half of Nigerians are on social media, or even 3/4, right? Speaking about one or two ills. Now we have even influencers that, you know, are very popular that tackle some of the societal ill. I'll not call anybody's name because I do not want to be dragged anywhere. But we do know that Nigerians are big on volunteering. It's important because you can reach places that you yourself cannot reach. It's important because your message that you are just giving in Abuja here can reach a village somewhere in Nasarawa or somewhere else, right? It's important because what happens with technology is technology helps things to scale. Things that work scale, whether positive or negative, is scaled by technology. So if there's a rumor somewhere, right, technology can blow that rumor up. And with the advent of AI, it's even more necessary to set up systems like we said in the previous question, because now people don't really know what's real and what's fake.
True.
You will be stunned that negative news flies faster than positive news, right? Somebody says something about somebody or an organization, that goes really viral. When they retract it, maybe after the law court case and everything, nobody cares
really
about
sees
it.
it.
Nobody
True.
cares about
True.
it. It's not news that's going to sell. But we have seen the power to do good. So take, for instance, Save Lead Humanitarian organized a BWB training that's getting teachers from around the world to teach and to empower them with the skills. But all that was done on Zoom calls, right? So technology is super important because you can scale impact at a macro level, not micro, at a macro level when you use technology, but you must also understand the positives and the negatives of technology. So take, for instance, you do a training online, somebody can literally just pick that training and start to resell that training. And you gave it out for volunteering,
True.
but another individual in Nigeria sees the opportunity to cash out, and so all those types of things are the pros and cons. But technology as a whole is a tool, is a weapon for volunteers to scale their work.
Volunteerism is community-based. So with online volunteerism, is it that it creates a new kind of community on the online space?
Yes, it does, but like to a large extent, there has been research and conversations around the types of relationships that are built online. A lot of times people say, oh, this is my online friend. But in real sense, you don't really know so much. Somebody can be frowning behind his phone and sending you an emoji like, oh, well done, this is amazing, keep the fight and everything.
True.
Or somebody might be, so there's a lot of things when it comes to online that we are still trying to figure out. There's a conversation around, is this really true to volunteer? And really, online is really good for advocacy, raising lights on some issues, but certain issues, you need to go in person to go and tackle those issues, like cleaning up swamps or cleaning up dirt on the society. You can't stay online and just say, let's clean. Yes, that's great, but somebody...
But yet controversial, but we still talk about it as it concerns volunteerism, and that is volunteerism, exploitations, and boundaries. We've seen another side of volunteerism that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, and that's the issue of exploitation. Sometimes people genuinely want to cause, but they end up in situations where organizations take advantage of their time, skills, and emotional input without...
Oh, when you say you're volunteering, that means you're doing work without pay. That's the standard definition of volunteering.
True.
So you might want to ask yourself, do I want to intern? I want to volunteer. There are wealthy people that volunteer, right?
True.
So you see somebody like Tony Elumelu will do certain things sometimes, right? So we'll call that volunteering. So if you are a volunteer, now sometimes many organizations are meant to provide, the cost of them doing good. But in real sense, the idea of volunteering stems from the fact that you are doing good without getting paid. Now you can transition to the point of maybe internship with that organization. Now when you are working or when they've seen the value and you're working and demand what you need at that point. But when you hold those two in two balances, right, volunteering really is rewarded internally, right, and in the society. But when it transitions to the point where you're being paid, we don't really term that as volunteering
any longer,
right? So most organizations can give stipends for that. And so I always say this, right? It all starts from the point where you reach out to that organization. Clearly define what you want to do. Many times people will come with the nuance that, oh, okay, they will just see my value and they will pay me. Who wants to just see value and throw away money, right? If that's the case, nobody needs to apply for a job. Because many people's inroad to the organizations that they are working with stems from volunteering first. Then after that, it transitions to maybe some sort of stipends and internship. Then after that, so there's the part of regulating that, but it comes from especially the volunteer and the organization being honest and frank. What exactly are you doing in this organization? I think clarity kind of just would dissuade people from exploiting people, but it also let you know that once this person is exploiting me, I can just walk away and leave because really there isn't any contract apart from maybe a social one when I'm volunteering.
Now let's talk about community resilience. We've seen volunteerism strengthen our communities and its ability to cope with challenges. From your viewpoint, how does volunteerism help build strong and resilient communities in the face of challenges like in Nigeria right now?
Yeah, so I think it just shows that strength in the people, right? Because eventually we must remember all these things that we're doing is still about people, whether it's businesses, whether it's volunteering, it's still about people.
True.
Sometimes people forget that and think, oh, it's just about profit. No, profit is good, but profit is built around the work that people do, right? Resources are good, but it's still built around people, right? So, when there's volunteering, it just helps to bind the community. Right, so see how every time one news of maybe something that happens in Nigeria just brings Nigerians together and they are talking about it. Yes, they might have different views, but in Nigeria we have a lot of people that have different views about different things, which is fine. But eventually it brings everybody to one place to speak about an issue that needs tackling. So I feel very strongly that volunteering is that place that kind of awakens you, right, to the challenges that are happening, but awakens others and gets them to take action. Now, if there isn't action taken, it is just an awakening, but there isn't really the full circle of volunteering happening. Right, so I don't personally feel you can just volunteer to be awakened or enlightened. Yes, you can be enlightened, but if you do not take action to change that problem in the community or in the society, the full circle has not been complete. So what volunteering helps to do is bring people together to take action, and that helps make more communities more resilient, and also knits the bond, right, between communities.
True. So still talking about community, and let's look at it from safety. Is there any nexus between volunteerism and a healthy, safer community or neighborhood?
I also think it's just the community. I saw on social media that some people went to go and clean a community, and there's these people down south, they call them Omolinle or something like that, were saying they had to pay to come and clean their community. Their community was not clean, but the people coming to clean would pay them to come and clean your community.
That's an irony.
Exactly, right? So when you look at those types of things, right, it all depends on the community and the society. The idea behind volunteering, sustainable volunteering, is not that the volunteers have to come every now and then, right, to take care. It's, build a system, get the youths, get the community participating. And remember those days back then when we were young, and every Saturday we had to clean your compound or clean your community.
It was mandatory.
It was mandatory, right? So those types of structures and that's what really impacts the cleanliness, the safety, the health of those types of communities. So there needs to be a structure. The volunteers can come once in a while, but without a structure, everything will still trickle down.
Human beings, we are considered Oliver Twist. We just want more. So what more can be done to grow volunteer culture? What can institutions, NGOs, the government, what more can they do to support the volunteer culture in Nigeria?
To be honest, I'm going to say something that might look really funny, but just get out of their way, right? Just get out of their way, because sometimes people don't know most times that technology needs to thrive before it's regulated, right? So, for instance, it's just now we're talking about regulating AI. There's been conversations, but now we're talking about regulating AI. But if they didn't allow the scientists and the people to really figure out what AI can do, then they will not even know what they're even meant to regulate, right? So there are many things in the volunteering space that people are trying to do, but there are a lot of blockades, do you understand, to executing these things, and sometimes some long-lasting cultures and traditions that are not easy to change. So pretty much many times people really want to be good, right? People really want to give to community, but many structures exist that, like for instance, they'll say, certain communities have gatekeepers. Whilst that is good, because that gatekeeper can tell you how that community exists, but some people around the world might want to come and volunteer, right? Like the Peace Corps, right? True. And yes, they will learn the culture, but it takes a while, right? Some people have to learn a certain language. So just make it easier for people to do good, and make it, rewarding. And when I'm saying rewarding, not giving them money, just make sure that these people know that, their effort is being appreciated. True. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're approaching the end of this conversation, but before we go, I would like for you to give an advice. Someone who's willing to start volunteering today, or they do not know where to begin or how to start. What's that one simple, meaningful act that they can start with today?
Call your family, call a loved one, call your father, call your mother, and say something great to them, right? Start from your family. They will know if you're a real volunteer from your family, right? People like to do complex things, right? People like to do complex things. Sometimes sweep your compound, arrange your room, go and arrange your room. It's not that complex. So get to work earlier, right, and put things in place, right? Just start from the basic things. If you sit in a community and you're working and you have some money, look for a child, even if it's a public school that child is, pay for the fees of that child, right? So start from the basic things. I started from the basic things, right? I started from research. I started from, I worked with the federal government at some point, would go to communities to impact communities. Start from the basic things. Don't wait for the big things. So just look for something that you're interested in. Then, of course, look for role models. It's really important what you are seeing, what you place in front of your eyes, right? So look for role models, people that align with your values, right? Not just people that are fanciful, or people that align with your values. If you are the person that values people, look for people that value people. If you are the type of person that values hard work, look for people that value hard work, not people that are just saying, oh, let's do this so that we can go and get one grant, and after that we'll cash out, right? So be big on the values and the value system that is around you. And the third thing I will say is, be honest, like be real, right? Know that when you are called to volunteer, you are called to one of the highest service of humanity. You are called to, something that many of us call a religion that's doing good, right? We cannot wake up a day without doing good. It's not in our system.
True.
So understand what type of clan you belong to and be honest with yourself. Every single time you have to do good, don't do it because the next person is looking at you. Do it because Nigeria demands it, Africa demands it, and the world demands that good is spread across the world. And hopefully, through your action and all our actions, we'll see development happen eventually in Nigeria and the world at large.
True. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajeledo. And thank you for sharing those insights with us this morning. And for me, what I've learned from this conversation is that volunteerism remains one of the strongest tools we can use to strengthen our communities, supporting the vulnerable people, and also building resilience, especially in times like this in Nigeria. And to everyone watching out there, remember, you do not need a title or a budget to make a difference. This year's theme, Every Contribution Matters, reminds us that everyone has something meaningful to offer. One small act of kindness or service can change someone's life and their entire story. Thank you so much for being part of this discussion. We now go for a quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Numerous committee. About more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle
And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television. Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
It's still Global Morning. You're welcome back from that break. And yes, it's about that time where we talk sports. And guess who I have in the building? Anita Patrick, my wonderful, amazing colleague. But for today, I think I'll call her the sports diva. You're welcome back.
Thank you, Mutel.
Fresh off from the Abuja half marathon.
Yes, you see, I look the sportish part
of
because
course,
today is actually a different mood, a different excitement for Abuja residents, especially the athletes who have witnessed the long distance racing which took place today in Abuja, where we had the elite athletes and all fun racers who enjoyed to run the long distance races, and this had to bring in athletes from Kenya, Uganda, who came to see how Nigeria is bracing up in the world of sport, especially the athletic part, to see that we have stand. So this is the second term they're having this kind of organization for athletes, and this is coming for the half marathon. So hopefully we'll see more of this coming to play. But it's been good out there. I hope you had an amazing time here.
Of course I did. My question now is, how has Nigeria performed so far in that particular tournament?
Well, when it comes to athletics for Nigeria, it's been we've had amazing athletes who have stand tall for Nigeria from the Olympics back in the days, but we're still growing into seeing more. That's why the Athletics Federation have also looked at measures to see how more talents can be discovered. I'm just coming from that, and then we had for the female category where Nigerian ladies came second and third in this particular road running, and it's amazing to see our girls do well. Even the male category, even though Kenya and Uganda picked the first, second, and the third, Uganda went for third, and we had Kenyans. Kenyans have always been known for this.
Of course, that's their forte when it comes to sport.
So that's it. But for Nigeria, this is a good setup. This is a good stand-up for the Athletics Federation to see that Athletics Federation to see that more discovery of raw talents will come to bear, especially with all of this put into, especially the long distance. I've been a long distance racer from school, so I was really excited to see all of this play out for us.
So what you're trying to say is now Nigerian ladies have done better than the male. I
don't do the gender thing.
Well, it's a good
if
one,
I am called out in the gender thing, but it's a good outside.
Nigeria has done well, and we hope we see much more better results going forward.
I'm telling you, more will go forward for us. But let's tell you that we have more. I have Samuel Odi to join me, talk about this. Let him tell his experience, how it was like for him, seeing the athletes on the particular track of events where they started the race from the old parade ground down all the way to the tracks that was put for them, and then met at the finishing line. The finishing line was quite exciting, the energy, every of that we'll bring to you after this time out. Please stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Back, join us on Global Morning. This time around is the sports segment, and like we had the introduction earlier to talk to you about the Abuja half marathon that just finished. We've seen the first, second, and third runners, winners of this particular event. We had the female and the male category. But joining me to talk about this is Samuel Odi, who's my go-to every time I want to drag him into the world of sports and want to talk about all of this exciting developments in the world of sports. Samuel, it is good to have you.
Good morning, Anita. It's always good to talk sports with you, whether on the weekday or on the weekends.
Okay, but the exciting thing, we're looking forward to this for a long time, and then it is today, and we saw the excitement, the organization, the thoughts put together by the stakeholders who were looking forward to bringing out athletes. Let's start from yesterday. Yesterday we had the press conference where you reported that we talked about the issue. Let's look at your perspective to grassroots developments in terms of athletics. Do you see this as one of the most podium for athletes to discover themselves?
Yes, actually, it's one of the very best platforms we have currently for athletes, that for long distance runners to be able to discover themselves and explore more. And this is not just like the regular grassroots that we are seeing, because there is a whole lot of technological advancements and that was looked into, and then proper planning. This is what we see in NCAA. The same thing we see in America and Europe is the same thing we are witnessing here in Abuja. And during the press conference, a few key words were actually stated out in terms of sanction for Niniola, the sports management crew in charge of hosting long distance race. This edition of long distance race, they were able to adhere to the rules and regulations. That means it shows and gives assurance that athletes will not run and then struggle to get, what they are supposed to get. That's the prize monies and all of that. And then Chief Yusuf, the technical committee director, also highlighted the technical aspect and, technological advancement that they are using to make sure that, yes, everything is being monitored properly. He highlighted all of that, and also the president of Athletic Federation of Nigeria, Okowa, also applauded the organizers and said, yes, he's hoping to see a lot of improvement, and this is far more better than what we saw in the first edition. The second vice president also, give her own accolades to Niniola, and also acknowledge the fact that Niniola adhered to the rules and regulation, which is very, very key to be able to host a world-class event like what we just witnessed today.
Well, it's been an exciting one, because I looked at the routes which they had to pass through for this, and luckily you followed that trend. We just go back from that, and we saw the fact that it wasn't just about the athletes. It was more of both the fundraisers, but everyone who was embraced to come in, and we saw the vibe at the finishing line, because the finishing line was where the whole excitement I got there. I saw people doing for the stadium where they had the selfies.
For the grams, for TikToks and X accounts. Following through the route, it's very interesting, because we saw that, yes, the racers were given accolades and given the maximum respect that they deserved by blocking lanes where they were running through, and then motorists have to like look for a different route. Even us, we had to like find longer routes so that we can be able to catch up with them and all of that. We saw all of those arrangements. We saw security agencies, all of the security agencies coming together to make sure that these athletes were able to run safely. We didn't see on the road while we were tracking and following the athletes, we did not see any athletes slumming on the road and all of that. It shows that these individuals have actually been preparing themselves for this opportunity to run. And then looking at the routes, they followed the Central Business District, which is obviously very, very subtle and a little bit, there's not a lot of vehicular movement on a Saturday around these areas, and then they were able to navigate properly, and we saw the marks and also making it easy for the athletes directions to take for those that are not Nigerians or those that don't live in Abuja that won't be able to navigate the road by themselves. So they had proper markings on the road, they had proper direction pointing the athletes on where to follow, and in a nutshell, we saw amazing and beautiful race.
Let's just guide our viewers to understand the routes which we're talking about. So they had the proceeded straight down from the fire service. That's the Mohammed Buhari way, and they went straight to Ghana Street, turned right into Constitution Avenue, continued straight to the Federal Secretariat, turned right into onto Shehu Shagari Way, and then they navigated straight after the Court of Appeal, turned left into Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Expressway, continued straight down and turned again right onto Murtala Mohammed Expressway, headed straight to our pole roundabout, turned right onto Nnamdi Azikiwe Express, continued straight to Area 1, Galadima roundabout, turned left onto Ambassador Valentine Okereke Boulevard, and then also proceeded straight and turned right onto Christopher Gwambi Musa Way, and then they continued straight down and turned right into the Package B Sports Complex, and run through Package B into the Package A, and until they got to the finish line of the velodrome where it was, and it was a beautiful one. When they came, but one thing that caught my attention, Sam, is the fact that I saw very little boy
and a
little girl as well who competed. It showed that it was all encompassing. It wasn't look at just the elites like they mentioned. It was supposed to be a fun race. And then to also give other people the opportunity to compete and see where their strengths can take them.
And looking at it now, the two young athletes that we saw ran in a very good time. They were able to finish during respectively 1 hour and 20 minutes, and the other finish around 1 hour and 15 minutes. So it shows that the pace at which these young athletes were going at, it shows that they've been running. They did not just not wake up today and say, okay, there's a marathon, let's go. They were not, I don't think they were part of the fun runners, because those kids were looking very hungry and they were steady. So it was a very, very good outing generally. You saw individuals, fun runners having fun, keeping fit. We saw the second vice president of the AFN who also ran, and then to keep fit. She mentioned it yesterday that she was going to be running, but she would be running for fun. And then she literally had a lot of fun. We saw lots of individuals coming out, residents in Abuja, even fun runners that have separate clubs that just do it to keep fit, also came out in their numbers. Around 5,000 individuals locally and internationally coming out to perform and run. And then this is a very significant outing for grassroots sport development, because now this is an avenue and a room has been opened for more international organization, international games like this, international long distance races. Now we've seen half marathon. Maybe in the third edition we might be seeing maybe a full marathon or something more. I think they ran around 21 kilometers, and that's a whole lot of running that happened.
Sam, why were you not running? Because you have the legs. This is like a pace running.
I actually have the legs, but I run more on the basketball court. I'm not sure I have it in me to run for 21 kilometers.
No, this is amazing to see the runners. I like the fact that there was a lot of excitement, relaxation. It didn't look like a whole tense atmosphere. And kudos to the organizers, because the international bodies who came to observe, the World Athletics Federation, also looked at all of this and gave Nigerians, the organizers, thumbs up to the proper organization, thoughts of ensuring that athletes understand, the long distance running, understand what it means to exercise, keep fit, and also do what they love to do for fun. I was talking to the second batch, I was asking, this is something I like to see, because a whole lot of parents do understand where sports, especially athletics, will take a lot of people to. And this avenue also, we also had Mary Onyali talking as well. She gave look at the finishing line there. It was amazing to see where the finishing line came in. It was a lot of excitement where we saw them coming at the finishing point. Although Kenya came in as the first runner up there, then he got his 8,000 US dollars.
That's a lot of money. That's around over 13 million Nigerian naira. That's
why didn't we go for this?
you know the Kenyans, it's like a birthright for them. Like nobody, globally even tries to compete with them when it comes to long distance running. And it's very interesting to see that, in the female category, 2 of our Nigerians also came out victorious, winning the third and the second position individually. Third position winning $5,000 US, and then the second position winning $6,000 US, which is very, very instrumental. That's a whole lot of money. That is a career-changing money. That money can actually help them, advance further. We saw different individuals using their phones to get some clips on the finish line.
Yes, there is something. There's a marketing strategy for this, because look at the economy, right? Look at the exposure it's bringing, and I like the spirit. It doesn't matter at what point you're finishing. It's for fun, but you show the pace that you actually running a race and all of that. But let's see if we can get a clip of one of the interviews we had, some of the interviews we took with some of them. Okay, while we get that underway, let's also tell you that it's been an amazing outing there. From what you can see, you've seen where a lot of athletes were excited, showing their strength, showing their perseverance in long distance. Why not try the next episode? Because we spoke to the chairman of National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, and he said 2025. We asked him. We've seen a lot of introduction of new techniques, infrastructural ideas to grow sports, and 2026 obviously is just to build more on what has been done, because the idea is to bring up the grassroots, and this is part of it, because we saw schools who joined in the race. It wasn't just the elite class, the schools joined in the race, and we saw the little ones who came out exciting. For the female category, where the Nigerian ladies made us proud, we were really proud of them, and we look forward to seeing more of this replicates itself at the international stage, where we'll tend to win a lot of gold medals, hopefully. Like the organizer said, it's the second edition, and this is supposed to find a way of captivating across the different states. Yes, Abuja has been brought to the limelight. With this put in place, hopefully it will be maybe Akwa Ibom. Or Sama, where should we take it to?
Probably Ebonyi State. We have good roads. The former governor of the state tried his best to, create roads, and then the current governor is also doing so. Abuja Road is like the best to actually run in Nigeria as it stands.
This is an exciting thing, because it shows the need for proper infrastructure, road infrastructure, to be put in place. Because Abuja has actually shown that this kind of events can happen because we have a good road network, which also showcase the accessibility for the athletes to go through all the tracks in which they're able to pass through.
That's interesting to see. So we'll just have more of this, and it's very interesting to see, because grassroots is evolving. Shehu Diko, this is like the 13th events that Nigeria is hosted in 1 year. So that means there is room for more. So what the government and private individuals need to do more now is just to improve the standard, take advantage of it, and also improve the standard of the infrastructure that we have here, so that we can also host more games. If we can host 13 in 2025, imagine at the pace at which Alhaji Shehu Diko and the DG of the National Sports Commission, how they are strategizing. And that means we will be able to host more come 2026, and this is very welcoming. E-commerce aspect is not even something we can overemphasize about, because individuals now are making money, athletes are being discovered, and winners are being crowned, and then the Nigerian sporting ecosystem is expanding and being projected to the international community. So we just need more and more of this.
You know that I tell people, I said when Sheudiko and the DJ Bukola Lokpa, they came in on board, a lot of excitement came because we saw them as people who have creative minds, who are ready to change the narrative of sports in Nigeria, and we've seen that play out very well because we saw look at the sponsors that came in. The idea was to see how private sector can jump on this and bring in more development into sports. Sports is not just about the federal government. I always tell people, if you have an opportunity, if you see a need or a place to develop sports, because sports is what brings us together as a nation. It's not just about football. It's about the general growth of sport. This is athletics, and look at the excitement. That was there.
People don't want to even leave the venue as it stands now. Like we had to leave because we had to leave. We had to leave because we had to leave. If not, I know I wouldn't have left.
I had to tell you because sport is an energizer. It's a Saturday, and what a way to spend your Saturday. And this is what it means that going forward, a whole lot of athletes, a lot of people who are interested, who have the talent, please come out, show your skill, because you don't know who's watching. Right now, Nigeria is at the point where everyone across the globe is paying attention to details. Just like the organizers also there spoke while we're waiting for that to get on, because I want us to listen and hear the facts where this organizer said what they saw in Nigeria, that Nigeria is now a hub where there's a whole lot of discovery, there's a whole lot to take advantage of and put Nigeria in the landmark in terms of sports development. So for me, I'm excited because I've been in the sports vicinity for quite a number of time, years, and I understand where this growth is, how the involvement is showing forth. So going forward, just like the organizer said, next year we're coming back again. So next year, with this number we saw, we hope it doubles.
Doubles, yes, and obviously
more discovery.
And more discovery, yes, because with all of this now, we'll keep tabs of obviously those two young athletes that we saw running that ran within 1 hour and 20 minutes and 1 hour and 15 minutes respectively. Those are obviously students. Definitely we'll keep tabs on them and see how well they have progressed. And there's a system, according to the statement that was made by the second vice president yesterday at the press conference. She said there's a system to nurture and discover talent. So we are going to keep tabs with that. The technical director also reaffirmed the same thing. Yusuf Ali is an Olympian. He has all the expertise.
Iyale was there as well.
Yes, he was there. So he has all the expertise to be able to manage athletes. He was able to secure and win Olympic gold medals for Nigeria during his era as an athlete. And now him being part of those behind the scene, working behind closed doors to see and discover more talent for Nigeria. I know that from that standpoint, it shows that the future is looking very, very good for all of these athletes that would want to put in the work now and be able to stand out. So they would definitely.
You know, one of the things that got me excited is the fact that they followed the protocol, which has to do with the anti-doping, which is part of the way of checking these athletes if they were actually drug-free. And that was part of the procedures. Even when they got to the finishing line, they still took them to do the checks to be sure that these ones were running on a plain slate and nothing else was added to it. So it doesn't look as if they took advantage of others. And then I like that procedure part because it shows Nigeria is in the right direction to more sport development. Well, let's quickly take some of the interactions we had there with the organizers, and then when we come back, we'll jump on the conversation. Please stay with us.
Be able to activate every sport, and you know, we keep saying it, long distance running is part of where Nigeria will have a competitive advantage if you take it very serious. So this we are all laying the foundation. So apart from the sport, also is the economy. Look at the economy around what is happening. Look at the promotion for Nigeria globally. So it's quite brilliant for us. And I must thank Linayo for putting this together. And most importantly, I must thank Premium Trust Bank. I must thank the MD for getting this done, because everything here has been done by the private sector. The government didn't put any money towards it, which is clearly what we are expecting to be done in developing our sport. So it's quite an exciting time for us.
It's quite interesting that there's a shift in the Nigerian sporting ecosystem. We saw the F1 race. We're seeing so many road races coming into Nigeria right now with so much partnership with private organizations. My question is, 2025 was amazing. As the NSC chairman, what should we expect in 2026? comfort packages or what?
2025 is very amazing. We have done so much that we can't even count it. But what we can do is to keep building on what we are doing and keep moving there where we have the deficit. So we just keep going on the same trajectory. The last time we checked, by the last quarter, sports in Nigeria did about 1.2% of the GDP, which is quite unprecedented. We counted about 122,000 jobs in the last quarter all over the country that were added through sports. So these are the kind of numbers we want to see in sport, apart from the medals. Last year we got about the medals, over 400 medals across all sports all over the world. So we keep building on that. The only snag of it is the World Cup that we couldn't get, but you know, we can build on that and see how we can get maybe the AFCON to recover from that.
Your focus was grassroots development. And I've seen grassroots coming up. But what do you look out for grassroots development?
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what we are doing. By next week, our young athletes are heading to Angola to participate at the Africa Youth Games. They are all for the grassroots. That's developing the grassroots. We have introduced the intermediate games, where we can also have a bridge between the under-15s and the under-20s. There's a game for them that they can be able to participate. And we are encouraging every sport to make sure they activate their domestic ecosystem before we can support them to go to the international scene. So we are on it.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman.
Congratulations on this. For you, what's your take? How is everything in the organization? Do you think this is going well as expected, following the standards put in place?
The organization was very, very good. I mean, Nilay Sports is a premium organizer when it comes to the races across Nigeria. They did a really good job and a lot better than last year as well. So the athletes really enjoyed the event, and the course is better as well. And luckily, it wasn't too hot on the course.